Yeah, we're not gonna play that game. I shouldn't have started it. I kind of apologetic now that I did that. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk Empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. We got a full moon going on right now in Aries. It hit full about, I think it was like 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. I got too much crap in my head to try and keep track of all that data. Anyway, Aries and full moon. Was anybody extra reactionary today? What to expect during the full moon in Aries, or not what to expect, but potential energies that may or may not arise throughout the next 2 days. Because the moon, it takes 2 days for the moon to pass through a sign. See, because there's the there's the Aries stars astrology up there, right? Then it passes through the full moon. That's full moon in the Aries astrology. So these are potentials, and they're always contingent on your own placement. So you got to get in your birth chart, learn about your own placements. I got Aries Sun, and so moon it's a lot of watery stuff, man. It's a lot of emotions. It's just a lot of. The lady at the part store today said she felt really spacey and like. Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks for verifying what the astrology. Okay. And so, heated conversations, thin patients are easily pushed. Truth comes out intentionally or unintentionally. Fabulous, impulsive self-love and treats for the self. I myself energetically was just freaking. It's like I had all this energy, but I don't got nowhere to go. I don't know. So it's like I don't like wasting energy. I don't like wasting anything. So I did get some additive, some fuel additive, and went and got gas. And went and drove down, headed south toward Auburn, and then drove back up north up to the taco truck and got some tacos at the taco truck. So that was kind of cool. But I didn't get to meditate today, which is good probably because, I did lay there and listen to Rick Levine's talk. So it's just as good if I'm not focusing, if I'm just not thinking about thoughts, then that's a meditate state. It's all a discipline and a practice. And so whatever I can do to just keep my energy down here, because that's the thing is my energy is up here, and then something happens, and then I'm reacting from up here because I got all this fire in me. I was reading my aspects this morning. I was just like, yeah, it could be a doozy of a day, but maybe it'll be everything will just, none of this stuff will, your masculine energy is stronger than you are used to. You feel more in charge of your life than normal. Your confidence is boosted, and the people around you notice this. The fire element that is underrepresented in your chart is activated by the transiting planets. Feelings of passion, confidence, and drive to take initiative that are less natural to you will emerge. This is an opportunity to embrace these new experiences. So I have opposition in my natal Pluto and transitioning mood. Someone could challenge you on a very sensitive issue, resulting in an argument or at least a very intense discussion. I did have one, but I didn't like a year ago, I probably would have been freaking. It probably would have, but I just looked at it as a discussion and know how the energies are. And, we'll reconvene and try and have we'll have the discussion again when I'm not up here. But the thing of it is I was supposed to have this discussion, because he could help me a lot a couple days ago, but I wasn't up for it because I don't do good in the evening about serious. I have my serious, business talks in the morning when I'm fresh and stuff like that. So evenings are not good for me, but he's got stuff too. But because I'm trying to be accountable and I'm trying to actively move forward, knowing, what I knew about, I'm gonna do it, and it's just like, okay, well, we'll try it and we'll see, and I think it was a good discussion. I just think it could have been better if I wasn't up here already. And then the dogs had to eat. Mom, it was dinner time, and so it was just like, I gotta go. So, but we will reconvene, because that's what adults do. you know, when I was in ego and just, you know, in self-will and all that stuff, I'd just be like, you know, I'd probably have a different outcome and just not even, it just, F it, you know, I get my way and burn the bridge down. No. This is how we get to heal the stuff from our past, is by not responding from the way that you did before, and just not responding. Just not respond. Just look at it as like, okay, it was like a story in a book, and look at it, okay, and then that ended, so we're gonna put that story away, and then reconvene with the choose your own adventure at another date. What does it say? Sextile natal Neptune and transitioning sun. Let yourself dream today. These days don't come too often, so don't ignore this opportunity to let your imagination loose. Hi, kitty, kitty, meow. Perhaps a good book or a movie will take on that more than real dimension. Consider the stars. That's a hard. I'm having a hard time with stars right now. See, I used to love freaking fall because of all the new. Because I watched a lot of TV, a lot of shows. I get a lot of data, you know, because real people write these storylines, so they're just basically giving you intel into what their psyche is. So, you know, I like to see what's allowed to be mainstream, what the powers that be, and like when I was, you know, growing up, school, I hated school. School's a nightmare for me. So I hated school, so it was like, okay, that sucked because school started in the fall, but it was also cool because all your new shows start. But now, since Hollywood is all being wrought for what it is, and all the truths are coming out and stuff like that, it just makes it less cool. Now schools aren't starting. Now, you know, the world is has shut down because everybody got scared, and because the control freaks said, "Do what I say!" People get in my face like that. I get right back in their face! Why should I do what you say? And then they're like, oh shit, we weren't trained for this. What do I do? Abort, abort. Kitty, 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 kitty. Take it easy. Huh. Kitty, kitty, take it easy, Marjo. Don't make it weird. So what else? You feel a love of order and law, and appreciation for responsibility and duty. Problems are... I'm done reading that. So anyway, it was a really fiery day. But I think it's Thursday. It's Thursday. And I think Jesse's on tonight. Maybe she's not. Maybe they're skipping a Thursday. Maybe she's not even on tonight at 7. I haven't seen a notification. But see, has anybody else noticed technology is so fucked up right now? Like people aren't getting emails. All walk. Like from what, and like, I don't know. So if you're relying on emails and technology right now for things like, I mean, people aren't getting voicemails. I got an email from a lady on Monday because she said that her voicemail, she couldn't leave a voicemail because she wasn't speaking clearly, and she was calling from a landline, like a digital, well, not landline, none of them are landlines anymore, but digital, a VoIP phone. So I mean, it wasn't like there was connectivity issues. So, you know, and if she wouldn't have sent me an email to follow up, then I never would have known. So if you're trying to get a hold of people and stuff, try like 3 different kinds of communication, just to be sure. You know, call, send a message. You know, maybe say if they're on social media, let them know that you're trying to get a hold of them, because things just ain't going through. Because everything is divine right now. Everything is divine. Everything is in God's hand, and I can't believe I did not yet call God into the room. My bad. So take a moment and invite God into the room to be here, so people recognize this is a place that I live for God, Jesus, whatever. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what my definition is. Well, what I do know, but he might look like a fisherman with, like, you know, the Gordman's fisherman with the slicky and a big white beard and the yellow slicky on and stuff like that. But he don't allow evil. He don't allow people to hurt people just because they want to. And you know what else hurts people? When people withhold to be a hindrance. I've seen it my whole life because my parents used to do that. They would get frustrated with my behavior, so they would withhold affection. And if I wouldn't act right, then I wouldn't, and then that carries over because, like, I'd get hurt, and then they're like, well, I'm not. They learned how to be unaffectionate to me, but I never learned how to not be affectionate to people. So, but it's a vibration. All people do things because they feel good, and then they stop doing them when they don't feel good anymore. But right now the energies are so intense, people don't even know why they don't feel good. If you got a lot of Aries in your chart, you're freaking raging today, man. You are probably raging today. I mean, I have been just on the verge of freaking cussing somebody out all day. But I know that I'm not going to get over to the verge. I'm not going to cuss that out because God has given me the power and the grace to de-dick. Because it ain't about me. Because whenever I respond to anybody else in a less than kind and loving way, I'm responding to myself. Because who knows? I was having that conversation today. Maybe I chew you out on the street. Maybe I die in this life. I get reincarnated. I'm you in the street. And then I get to meet me as the crazy person. The person chewing them out. So I got to meet everybody in love. Everybody. And see, I was trained too. I have my own belief systems. I passed a freaking... there were 3 trailers full of Teslas going up to Portland. I'm like, who gets to buy the Teslas? I hate Tesla. Elon Musk, I never want to put my sweet little freaking muffin ass ever in the seat of a Tesla. Because, why? Because Elon Musk is a freaking sadist, he's a freaking egomaniacal, freaking sick person. Go look up to see what happens. That guy is freaking straight up evil. But it doesn't matter because his cars were cool. You know what I mean? It's all that shit. People stop fucking giving your money to people that are for the devil. Because that just makes you for the devil. I know, but just like season tickets at the NFL and all this shit. All to perpetuate, what was it? One of the greatest, there's Halloween is like the biggest for the keep an eye on your pets and your freaking kids, man. They're going in people's houses, and famous people, football people, they're taking their kids. They're getting desperate, man. They got to get those kids and get that juicy chrome. Got to get their fix, And when would I? That bitch was never pregnant. I've been waiting for her. It's been like scheduled, and everybody in the truth community knows that she was never pregnant. She was never pregnant. You can see where it's so fake. It's all... And when she got pregnant? Right in the midst of everybody attacking her on Twitter. Of everybody going to... And her deleting all those tweets. And so she did attention diversion. Oh, well, they can't be mad at a lady with child. Well, it's not even your child. You guys all make your kids in labs. They're all made in labs with in vitro and little this, little that, and add a little of this bloodline, and Then they're trying to make frickin' like one sex, one gender. What the fuck is that about? But vote blue. Vote blue. Get those blue bloods back in there. Those frickin' lizard-eating blue bloods. Lizard blue blood. There's lizards that have blue bloods. So why wouldn't there be people that were related to lizards? There's like the inner earth people. I think they're like all the tall redheads. And then you have the Nordics. Those are the Lemurians. And then you have the Palladians. People just segregate this shit to Earth. Like the Earth is all that there is, and there's not a whole fucking universe out there. But then, when movies like Star Wars come out, they all go to it because our spirits know that is the reality of it. Is that there's so much more than this. And I voted today. And people are waking up to it, and a lot of people are not waking up. It's not a smooth wake up. It's not a smooth wake up. It's a scary, get the fuck up out of bed right now, we gotta go. Yeah, it's traumatic and scary, and I'm just here to help usher you guys in, you know, you guys, the new wave of trauma kids. The new wave, because I'm the old wave. I'm the old wave. I'm the wave in the 70s. Talk about indigo and all that, rainbow, whatever. Yeah. See, some of us have to have really shitty lives, so the rest of you that have really good lives can go, well, fuck. I really need to be more grateful. If this bitch over here that can be raped when she's a 10-month-old baby, have all this shit happen to her, and still grow up and have a faith in God, and have a smile on her face, and love her mom, who wasn't really that rad to her to begin with, because of her. But I always recognized that wasn't her shit, man. She was doing the best she could with what she had. And if I was in her, and I, you know, I don't know what I would do. So, thanks, Ma. Thanks, Ma, for, you know, thanks, Ma, for taking care of us the best you could, with the, you know, with the very limited resources and tools that you were given, you know, by your own parents. So we got to make allowance, and people got to remember too, you know, with all these dastardly people that are coming out. Yeah, I don't like that thing, that being, you know, that just had a miscarriage today. I mean, come on, it's so freaking it's so scripted. Just give me a freaking break. Anyway, she don't even look like a real person, but you know what? If I saw her on the street, or if something happened to her, and if she was like hurt or something like that, I'd still help her. Or she was, I mean, that's the thing, is like, I don't gotta like, you know, I don't gotta be 100%, I don't gotta like everything about everybody you know, and it used to be that I set because I've grown up around that, is that everybody I know, if they don't like you, delete. And they just cut everything out, and then they go and they live in gated communities, or they live on top of hills where nobody can get into their world unless they're invited, and they're very closed off, and their worlds are very small because they live in fear. And well, I've made the conscious decision to live in faith, so I didn't want to go nowhere today. I made myself leave. I made myself go out. Go. Because I don't want to be one of those persons that believes like so much, I'm not going to not do that. I'm going to live my life. And then, you know, but I didn't feel like it. But I freaking pushed through it. That's what my whole life is, freaking pushing through shit that I don't necessarily want to do in the moment, but as a whole, it's what I live to do. I'm lazy as fuck, man. Some days I just want to be, I don't know, I kind of like to just have a different day that, besides the one that I've been living for the last 3 years. How's that for a beginning? Because I got to keep everything exactly the same for Mamo. And so I you know, and then so I get to throw in my splash of variety over here, or maybe, you know, get this, and because I ain't never eat it before, or, you know, maybe I'll watch, you know, I'll move the lights around, or make this just a little bit different, because there's so many fucking things in my life that are exactly the same. In everything I do to move forward, because it's not the time yet, and I can't mock ya, God. Almost did. Won't be doing that, because I'm a freaking smart ass, and you can't be mocking God, because there ain't no clouds in the sky, but that don't mean the lightning won't strike in some kind of way. So people gotta, you know, if all these people, instead of talking all this shit about, you know, hanging these pedos up in the street and freaking hanging on all this stuff, is that what God wants you to do, or are we supposed to be forgiving these nasty creeps and shit like that, and just making sure that they don't do it? I mean, I don't know. I don't read a lot of the Bible, but I thought that's what like the whole point of is forgiving everybody for all the trespasses, just like you forgiven them for trespassing against you. I had to look at that. I'm like, Marge, is there people I'm not forgiving? Are you not forgiving you today, Marge? Where are you with forgiveness with yourself? Oh, but I don't. I try not to do things on a daily basis that I don't have to forgive myself for. So I need to look at that. Maybe in my next meditate state, I'll look at that. I'll look at if there's, or if I'm feeling uncomfortable, maybe there's somebody that is trying to tell me that I did some, that there's a trespass that I need to make an amends to. So maybe I should go do through a little inventory here later and just, okay, well, who have I done, you know? But most people don't want to hear from me. People don't. They get to the point, you know. They don't. It always come, or that's how it's been before. But so I just, you know, some people you gotta leave in the past, and just the best amends you can do is just not freaking bothering them with me. It's the best I can do is just not bringing me back into their present. Just let them leave me in their past. But it's not easy being a spirit having a human experience. I was bummed out because I'm not even excited about The Good Doctor because it's ABC and they're all freaking creeps and they're all freaking maniacal and it's all who's in charge and how they feel that day, and I hate that heart space. I hate all things related to that heart space. Who, you know, and how is it that they got to do production in the last few months? How is it that they got to? What about all the other shows? How come some shows get to do in production and go on and everything's great, you know, but some shows don't? How come some networks, you know, they get to participate and some networks don't? Who gets to decide? And what day are they going to feel like deciding on something like picking me? Because I always seem to find the freaking maniacal ones that like to use me as an example. I've been made. See, people in positions of authority my whole life have made me wait just because they can. In the middle of the night in the ER when you're a little kid, you know, it's just like, and then you tell people, yeah, you know, people like to fucking dick with me and toy around with me and stuff like that, and then they say things like, well, if you keep thinking that's probably what's going to happen. I'm like, no. Every time I go into a situation, I'm like, okay, this is going to be cool. Maybe it'll work out in my, you know, it used to be like that. But then I go in the situation, then I come out fucking fucked. Screwed. Or upside down. Or, you know, a $2,000 lien on a note that I only had owed $1,600 on. Just like, what? Okay. You know, but cousins, siblings, because of all the nepotism, that shit don't happen to them, but they got to take it out on, you know, you still got to get their numbers. So the little fucking dumb fucking dyke girl, poor dyke girl, she gets fucking the brunt of people's about themselves, because then they can go to work in systems and go, well, I can take it on this dumb bitch over here, and it's 46 years, you know. But it's not all the time. I've made my way in life. I have a good freaking life. I have a really, really, really good life. I just look at every time I get a no as God saying that's not the way you're supposed to go. All right, so I get a lot of redirects in life. That's all no's are. Okay, redirect. Recalibrate. I know, huh? Besides, I'm not that important. Huh? Stan Lee. Want to come up the... Oh, I better not do that. Have him climb him up the ladder. He's trying to get into the stick. Kitty, kitty. Meow. Want to see meow? Come up here on the chair, meow. So don't make it weird. Put it down here where I can get it. Safety first, my love, now. He's such a good cat. Meow. Sweet meow. Hi. He's handsome. He's not in the mood. Put me down. Not in the mood. Who's in the talkie room? Good evening. YouTube is not receiving. Open what? Okay. It went away earlier. I was like, I'm going to hit him up tomorrow. I'm just going to, the rest of the day. Hi, Arizona Cactus Flower. How are you today? Curl. Oh, thanks for showing support. Could be nothing. Have a rad day. Aries rising. Were you on fire today, Allison? Are we back? I think we're back. I don't know. Alright, maybe not. Maybe it's time to call it. Yeah, it is really hard for me to meet all with love too, Maud. That is exactly it. I know it's forgiveness, but the thing that's it's not forgiveness is what is hurting us and is keeping us in that lower vibrational frequency. So that why is this freaking? I'm just gonna keep going until I hit stop. Dude, you know, I tell you, they pay themselves too much. Those programmers, they really pay themselves too much. Oh, she makes. Oh yeah, she makes my stomach drop too, man. She makes me freaking at. Stop the fuck pulping this in Amazon. And... Oh yeah, yeah, mining. Yeah, yeah. All this ego stuff, man. All right, I'm gonna quit it, and maybe I'll be back on later. I don't know. I'll definitely be back in the morning, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I hope